Hello and welcome to HCS Imagination. This is Hussein, and today we'll be learning how to convert your black and white image into a color. So for this, we'll be using this particular image and try to color it using different Photoshop techniques. So let's jump into it. So yeah, on Photoshop, I've already loaded this image, and for this, to colorize this image, we will be needing some samples of the color, the skin tone, and different shades of skin. So I have another image which is a color. So I thought this image would be much relevant. You can use the images or which you have. So what I'll be doing is I'll be taking samples of this skin tone and try to replicate the same on the other image. So for that, I'll create a new layer and take my paintbrush tool, make it hard. I'll increase the hardness to 100% and then increase the size a little bit. Now I'll start sampling different tones of the image. So let's go first on the highlights of this face. So if by clicking on Alt, I'll just sample the highlight over here. Okay, and paint it. Just decrease the size and paint a line like this. Okay, then I will sample a little bit of the next shade over here. It's almost the same, and then a little bit of the other shades, a little bit of the darker areas, and finally the most darkest parts. I can have how many ever samples I want. So I have all the samples of this skin tone now, so I'll just hide this image, and what we'll do is we'll try to replicate these sampled uh, colors on this. For that, what we need to do is create a new adjustment layer right below the selected the color samples. So we'll rename this as color samples, and I will create a new adjustment layer right below. So I'll create a gradient map layer below this. So let's move this gradient map below my color samples, and then selecting on this icon, I will change the colors. So for that, let's go from right to left. First, I'll double click on this. You can either click on this and then double click on this, or you can directly double click on this tiny swatch. So first I'm going to sample this one. So I'll create a new color panel here, and then double click on this and give the next. So similarly, I'll be doing it for all the different color shades. Okay, so we have this now. So but there's nothing which is good in this image. So let's just click on OK, and we will revisit the adjustments again. So now I'm gonna change the blending mode of this particular layer to color. Okay, so now it's little bit better. It's better than this. So what this blending mode does is it adds the color to this white and black image. So even now it's not that great. So let's get back to the adjustments. and then make a little bit of changes. I think this looks good, but yeah, there are a lot of changes to be done. So for better results, what we'll do is we'll just paint on the skin. So let's select the layer mask and invert the complete document and paint the skin with white. See, the colors are coming back. So over here I'll just reduce the flow of it so that the colors are well maintained. And yeah, so the skin tone is still not matching, so what we'll go and do is we'll revisit the gradient map gallery and try to readjust. So what I'll do is I'll just, I think this looks closer, so I'll just go ahead and add a hue and saturation, and then try to and clip it to it, then try to decrease the saturation. Yeah, this looks much real, and then just increase the brightness of. Yeah, this looks much real. See the before and after of it. Yeah. Now it looks much realistic. So I see there are a lot of color spills here and there. I'll just click on Alt and select only the mask part to start painting. You can take all the time in the world to make it accurate. So now if you see on below the eyes there are a lot of reds. I'll just sample that and then create a new solid layer and then change the blending mode to color and paint everything red. Then reduce the opacity. So it's small details, not much of a worry. So let's just see, I'll group this and say this as face. Okay, I think I missed out here a little bit. So this is the best thing about layer masks, you can revisit anytime and change it. So next we will try coloring other parts. Let's color the helmet now. So to color other parts, what I'm gonna do is I will create a new solid color layer, and I think this color would be much accurate, lemon yellow types. over here. Okay, let me just, it's not laminate this type. Okay, so same technique again. Change this to color, and then the mask should be completely black, and back to the painting job. Yeah, so painting of the helmet is done, and good thing about using a solid color layer is you can change the color anytime you want. You can make it darker. This looks good. Yeah, I think I'll go with this. So now next for the goggles, same thing. I'll just create just rename this as helmet. And now for the glasses, solid layer, select something which is little bit, yeah, this looks good. Change the blending mode to color, and then invert this, then start painting on it. This looks good. Now similarly for jacket, we'll select something which is orange. This would go. Change the blending mode to color, and then convert this and start painting on it. And lastly, the shirt. And what I think is, if I add, let me just try one more thing now. Let me just color this with the same color as helmet. Okay, this looks much colorful now. I think there are a few color spills here. Just go back to the layer and now next step would be changing the color, shirt's color. Same thing, solid, select something on red part. Okay, change the blending mode to color, and then invert this, and there you go. The color doesn't suit, double click on the layer and just increase or decrease. Change the color like this. Yeah, you can go ahead with this color, little bit bluish, be good. Okay, this is fine. Let's go ahead with this. So now this image is almost complete. I think we just missed to add the few detailings here. So the next and final step is to change the colors of the eye. So now for the final retouch, what I'm gonna do is I'll just add on the black and white. As you can see, this black and white image is more of the gray tone. So what I'll do is, after doing everything, I'll just, and this is your personal preference, all the photos might not need this adjustment layer, but it's good if you just try and see the output. I'll just add a levels adjustment layer here, and then just play around with the blacks and the whites just to increase the highlights and the shadows of the image. Change the tone a little bit. Yeah. And then, yes. So you can see before and after. It makes a lot of difference to the colors, to the shadows, and to the lights. You can see even in the jacket, the colors look more realistic now. And yeah. So for the final touch, as we always do on our tutorial, we'll just add a gradient. We'll just change it to normal colors, then go and add a gradient, change it to radial, reverse this, and move the spotlight to our subject. Increase the scale a little bit, and change it. Overlay. So it'll just add a vignette effect to it. So yeah, this was before and this is after. So before and after, we have got a lot of colors. The photo looks really good now, and if you like the photo, leave a like. So we started with this and we achieved this, and this looks pretty decent now. So if you like this tutorial, if this has helped you in any way, leave a like, comment down below what you want to learn next, and subscribe to my channel if you have not. Thanks a lot. This is Hussein signing off. See you next time.